Hey y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, this is going to be kind of like a catch-up video. I kind of asked some questions on my social media and I kind of saved them, so I thought I'd answer them on here. This is kind of going to be a full face of e.l.f. Like, you know what? I actually don't, I use e.l.f. but I've never done a full face of them on their products. Actually do bang. But again, don't forget to like this video, click the video if you haven't subscribed, like whatever. I haven't said that for ages. Anyway, how are y'all doing? Again, I said I'm gonna try be as consistent as I can be. This is the e.l.f. the Power Grip Primer. I actually really love this. That's why sometimes it's actually really good to do a full face of things, because you kind of see what you love from a product. And e.l.f., regardless of that scandal they had, their products are actually really good. Okay, so first question. So what's the worst date you've been on recently? Well, I'm not sure if you guys follow me on the other app, but I spoke about a dating, should I use the Bobby brand? I spoke about a dating experience I had where I went on a date with this guy and we've been speaking for a while. He was super cute. And we just decided to just meet up because, when you speak to someone for so long and people take so long to reply on those apps, and it's just like, well, are we meeting? Are we not? Like, what's the whole gist of it? The date was just a bit weird. I feel like on dates sometimes you can be the only person speaking, or the other person can just not be that interested, or can be just, a bit strange or chatting shit. And I don't know, everything I was doing, he was just kind of like asking or kind of contradicting, being like, oh, why would you order this? Like, who drinks a spicy margarita? And it all came down to the drink choice, because I was like, oh, what cocktails have you got? And I was just like, oh, a spicy margarita. And he was just like, oh, who likes spicy drinks? And it's like, we live in the flipping 21st century. It's 2025. How have you not tried a spicy margarita? Anyway, he was just like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure about this drink. Just to break it down, because it is a long story. And I went to the toilet while I left my drink there. When I came out from the toilet, this guy had been drinking my drink. My drink was on his lips. And bearing in mind, this is the first time I'm meeting him. It's like, who even does that? And then when I was like to him, what the hell? And he was like, oh, calm down. If I wanted to spike a drink, I would have put something in it. And that was his humor. You know what? I love someone with a dark sense of humor, but it's just the wrong place. No, what is it? Wrong time. What? How do you say it? Is it right place, wrong time? Wrong place, right time. What? How do you? Anyway, you know what I mean. And it was just, the date wasn't going that well anyway, and the date was just a bit weird. And since from that whole interaction, I actually haven't spoken to him again. So that was probably one of the weirdest dates I've had. I'm gonna go in with this e.l.f. Halo Liquid Glow, just to kind of highlight, because this all over the face, I'm not too sure about, because it does kind of, it's not highlight texture, but anything this glowy, I think all over the face can look a bit crazy, but this is beautiful. And I kind of get why people do prefer this over the Charlotte Tilbury one, because the Charlotte Tilbury one has far too much glitter in it. Let me put my mirror there. And this has actually quite a lot of coverage, so you can actually use this as foundation. How is dating going? I've kind of taken a pause on dating. I don't know, it's just a very weird place. I think, yeah, dating is just something that I've kind of taken a pause on, just to focus on other things, because some people, I get why people get obsessed with dating, because I feel like we're in a moment of where everyone wants a partner, everyone wants to settle down. We're in this era where everyone's now having babies, getting engaged, and when you see that for other people, I guess naturally you're gonna want it for yourself. But I think everything happens at the right time. I had friends that I thought they were gonna have kids like very early on, but they didn't end up having kids, and then they kind of admit to me they don't want kids. So it actually isn't for everyone. So I think you just gotta juggle it and know when the time is right for you. But this is actually a really good question. Was this concealer a bit orange? I've always been eating, because this concealer is really good, but it does crease. Like, the worst message I received on Grindr was probably a few days ago. I'm not gonna show, let me get the message up. Can I show, I can't show the message. Maybe I can clip the message. Let me get it out. It was actually a few days ago. It was so mad. Let me open the app. Someone said to me, do you have hard skin on your heels? Someone said, do you have hard skin on your heels? I didn't reply to the obviously the question. Then they said, if so, would you ever let someone suck on your heels? Guys, this is the reality I'm living in. Someone's asking me if I have hard feet. Someone's asking me if the back of my heels are hard. Do you know how insane that is? It's giving serial killer territory. It's absolutely insane. If that's someone on Grindr, what is someone on a normal day-to-day basis with that kind of tick, but they're not letting you know? You have to be so careful. Look how nice this concealer looks. It's so nice. Okay, let's go on to the next question. I've got this app, right, and it tells me how much times I picked up my phone, and I'm trying to reduce my screen time. It's like, Gary, you picked up your phone 50 times. And when you've got an app remind you like that, you're like, someone picking up their phone 50 times is absolutely nuts. It's giving I'm not well. So the next question, do you think you'll stay in London forever? Do you think you'll stay in London forever? And the question is, I don't think so, you know. I don't know. I've lived in London for like definitely over 10 years. And if this is the best it's gonna get, then I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I think I definitely need to take myself out of London. I'm not saying I would ever be back to my hometown, Birmingham, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I wake up and I just think, is this it? Am I just gonna wake up every single morning here and be like, okay, but there's nothing wrong with London. Obviously life is what you make it, and I just think the repetitiveness, and I think London has kind of lost its spark. I think everywhere kind of lost its spark after the panini. I just think things weren't really the same. So much establishments are closing down in London, especially the gay ones, and life isn't what it was. I just feel like everyone is now on 100 and everyone's just trying to do a lot, and I think everyone's in a current state of fight or flight mode here. So I don't know. Do you miss any friendships you had in the past? You know, I think everything happens for a reason. I think we're always gonna, you know, miss things we had in the past and, you know, reminisce. Like, I cannot think of all the friends that, like, even I had in Birmingham, or friends you just kind of grow out of or don't speak to as much anymore. Like, it is really sad, but it's life, guys. Like, people go into different paths. And I think sometimes, I don't know, you outgrow people. Sometimes we obviously have arguments, get married, friends have kids. Maybe you're not as close anymore. Maybe it just happens. Like, the amount of times I've talked to my cousins about this, because they used to be friends with someone. We actually always used to be close to this person, but sometimes you just lose contact, and people get married. And I feel like when people get married, it's just, if you're, I always say, if you've got a friend who's married and has got kids, if you're not kind of on that same level as them, whereas, you know, you've got kids, you're not balancing the same kind of lifestyle, it's hard, because you're going to be outside, or, you know, going on holidays, or, you know, starting and bopping, and they're going to be with their kids, and it's like, they can't do the same things you once did. Well, I'm not saying you can't ever be friends, but, you know, sometimes different life opportunities happen for you and other people, and it just doesn't align anymore. So, do you think the beauty world is saturated? Weirdly enough, my friend sent me a video on TikTok, and I actually was on a panel where someone was talking about this. And there's so many content creators, there's so many, but it depends what ratio. Like, she sent me a video weighing, well, the black market isn't saturated. I was like, that's so true. So much times you think, oh my God, it's saturated. But when I think about it, there's not a lot of, there obviously is, but the black beauty market isn't saturated. And I was just like, that's so true. And you always have these people being like, don't start, it's saturated, don't do this. And it's like, when I think in the market, how it's saturated of the same race of girls doing the same kind of content. But when I think about Indian content creators, Chinese content creators, other creators that are different races, it's not saturated, because I hardly don't, if they're out there, I don't see them. So it isn't saturated in that aspect, but it depends on what you want to do. And if you want to come in and copy what other girls are doing, that's when it's going to be saturated. But if you're coming to the game, bringing something new, then it very much isn't. Do you think London is still what it was years ago? London's changed. London has changed for sure. And you know, I think it's like in the political climate we're in, I think the world is changing. Like, we're seeing so much wickedness come to life. We're seeing prices go up of things. We're seeing people aren't, I think a few years ago, I think the whole industry was different. Beauty, lifestyle, the life, people are now spending their money on things that are really important and like things that like they love, and they're not really dilly-dallying into bullshit anymore. And life is hard. Life is so hard. And I think in the climate that we're in, we're seeing so much wickedness, so much unfairness, and it's happening all over the world. If you look at the current state of the world, we're seeing so much war, we're seeing things that aren't being reported on the news, and it's so crazy. I know that I'm well straying away from the question, but I think it's like a domino effect, and what's happening in one country kind of trickles down over to here, and it's sad. So have you ever experienced a weird influencer or fake? This is such a good question. A weird or fake influencer all the time. Not all the time. I think weirdness is subjective. I've experienced weirdness as in the energy's weird. And fake as in, yes, only not a lot though, but sometimes you'll see someone and they only just want to pre you just to know what you've got going on, or they want to ask you something, or they're the first person to view your stories, and not, it's just so, people are very strange. It's a very strange world, and it's not only until you speak to other people when you're like, isn't that person a bit weird or strange or very just ingenuine? I mean, they're like, yeah, they actually are very, very weird. But a lot of the times these guys are very young or just new into the game, so I don't know. That's what it boils down to. It boils down to a lot of people are very childish and have childish qualities. I recommend getting management for a newbie creator. You know what, if you can do it yourself and you are good with like invoices and pitching and stuff like that, I would say maybe stay clear of getting a manager, because sometimes you got to think you're giving 20% of, you know, your new earnings of being a creator to someone you don't really know yet. I would say maybe get to know a management or know a friend that's with them, because I've been with a few agencies and I don't know, like I don't have any regrets, but I do for some of them, just because I don't know. And also check who they have on their roster, and also make sure, you know, because depending on what race you are, make sure they have people in the office that look like you, because that is a really big factor. Because if they've got no one in the office that looks like you, how are they gonna like promote you, like pitch you? Because I remember I've had a few ideas, and this was not my current agency, I'm talking about years and years ago, and they didn't get it because they didn't get my personality. They didn't get the culture. Like I would talk about this and that, and like they just didn't get it, because when it's a room full of white women, they're not gonna get you, because they're not spending their time looking for a black gay boy or a black female who does makeup. They're looking for, you know, people that look like them. Not all the time necessarily. Obviously, there's some people that like, you know, I just have love watching everyone. But most of the times, they're gonna flock to people that look like them, which there's nothing wrong with that. But that's how it works. So I was speaking to someone or watching a video, and someone was talking about people that show up on the algorithm, and they said that she was saying that black people never show up on the algorithm because that's not what she searches for. But it's weird, on my algorithm, obviously I follow a lot of black content creators, and I feel like most of the time it is white content creators. So it's the algorithms, it's, you know, it's the apps, it's just how it is. So if you could go anywhere for 2 weeks right now, where would you go? Because it's quite cold in London, I would probably do LA, and I would probably do Miami. I'd do 1 week LA, 1 week Miami. Yeah, I would split it up, because I do love a beach holiday. I do love a beach holiday, but I get bored, and I'd rather be somewhere hot that, you know, has really cute coffee shops, has things to do. Even though people are like, there's nothing to do in LA, there's things to do. Like, if for me, I would like love to just chill somewhere with a cute coffee and, you know, just a moment. I do love a beach holiday, but sometimes just even going to the beach and getting to the beach is so long. And then once I'm there, I'm like so restless, because I love walking. I love it being hot and me walking somewhere like a hot city destination. Sometimes when I find out when I go to beaches, I'm just so uncomfortable, because I'm like, do I lie down? Is the thing up a bit? And then I just once you get to the beach, it is relaxing. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place, but I just feel like I get bored. And then once I get in the water, I'm only a person that can get in the water for about 10 minutes. I just get very restless. But this question came out of nowhere. How was your dad with coming out as gay? My dad was fine. I think my mom was a bit more, she wasn't against it, but she was more like, it is like a lonely life. Like, I'm scared you're gonna be lonely. And when she said that, this was years ago. She should obviously never say that now. But I kind of get it because it is a lonely life. I feel being gay is it's very lonely. I'm not saying that I don't have any friends or anything, but for people out there that don't have like a really close-knit friendship, a lot of gay friendships and environments are very surface level. Not for everyone, but kind of the clubs I've been to a night out, everyone is very surface level. I'm not saying everyone is, even though I'm saying everyone, but it is very surface level. People only want to know you if you've got something going on, which is like any other, which is like anyone really. But in the gay world, people only want to know you if you obviously got a really good job, if you can do something for them, if you've got a lot of followers, if you've got a certain body type. So it is kind of hard in that aspect. But my dad he knew, but he was just like, make sure you're safe, because, there's always just, I don't know how to say it. There's always like, just a stigma around gay men, and they're very provocative and, sexual, which those things are true. The girlies are outside and, it is mad out here. But I think Black parents and people in general go from what they see on TV, and I just feel like the gay life and the life of a gay man isn't always represented the best on TV. In the media, to be honest, they're always talking about, not anymore, but back in the day when my mom and dad's day, it was like obviously HIV and all these kind of things. It's just very, very crazy. Do you still get the aesthetic treatments? And if so, which ones? I haven't had filler in such a long time. I did want something in my, I wanted a tiny bit in my lips, like just a tiny bit to bring them out a bit. Not be too big, but because I've got contour on it actually, and the sheens make my lips look a bit bigger. But I wanted just a little something, but I don't want it anymore. But I was looking at, maybe not, it was more on the plastic surgery side, but I'm scared. I'm not gonna go through with it this year for sure. Maybe next year, depending on how things go. I'll probably, if I was to get it done though, I wouldn't even come on here to even speak about it. I would just get it done because, guys, life is short. If you want to get something done, who am I to come on here and be like, guys, do you think I should get this done? You would know if I got it done. You'd be like, okay, Gary, are you okay? Because what's going on? But life is short, and it's been on my mind for ages. But right now, it's a no. But the only thing I've had skin boosters, and I had lasers. So I'm only concentrating on lasers and boosters right now. Let me do some of the little bronzer in the eye, child. Loving just sculpting the eye. Do you think there's a deep-rooted reason why you're still single? Oh, girl, not you saying I'm the problem. Am I picky? Ooh, I wouldn't say picky is the word. I'm very specific. And you know what? I have dated someone before who was one of the best people I was with, and he kind of showed me, I don't want to say show me the world, but he did show me the world, and he just was up there in terms of it'd be very hard for someone to come in and beat, not that it's a competition, but once someone's giving you a vibe or a certain kind of lifestyle, it's very hard for you to go back to that. Not in terms of like financial, well, in terms of that as well, but in terms of like the energy, what they liked and what you like. Vibes match. Did you have the same just kind of morals and ethics, And I just feel like the guys that are out here now, it's scary, some scary shit. Even though I showed you Grindr, like I hardly meet anyone on there, hardly. I don't even want to be on the app from next year. I want to delete it. I think I've already got it because I stupidly, I'm not sure where I was, but I bought a long-term membership and I couldn't even get a refund on it back. Apple wouldn't give me it back, so I'm like, let me just have it until it expires. But I'm just not that. I think as you get older, when you just kind of change and you're just like, I'm not that kind of person anymore. I've been in love before. Yes. I love this question. I actually have. I have. Love is such a strong word. I have, and it's crazy because if someone's asked me, do you think I'd be in love again? I just don't know. I don't know. It's weird because people really need to differentiate lust and love. And someone will see someone, it's like, do you really, could you see yourself loving this person? But I guess lust becomes before love, you know? When you see someone first, you are lusting out over them. But I have been in love, and love is dangerous though, because love can have you acting a damn fool. That's what it can have you acting. I said this was a bit, Gary, what makeup are you doing now? Where the hell are you going? I said, Gary, what's happening with Sip and Slay? We need it back. The amount of times I've tried to bring it back, it's my fault. I'm just not consistent, guys, in that aspect of it. It's hard. Not hard, I could go live on my phone. I want to bring it back, but I think I just need to bring up have the confidence just to do it again and just have it rolling and have like a schedule. It's just the schedule size of it and the days and how long I want to have it. Because when I do it, I get into it so much, and then I'm doing it for 3 hours and I love doing it so much. But I think I just need a strict schedule and how much times I want to do it, and then I can really implement how I'm gonna do it. That's the only thing. There is nothing against you guys, and I love doing it. It's just the time aspect of it and my energy. I'm thinking when I was doing that, guys, that was like, didn't we just come out of lockdown? So it's just changed a tiny bit. You know, I do love celebrity news, but sometimes I don't want to consume it all the time. I'm not saying that's not what Sip and Slay is mainly about, but do you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel I can't really explain what I'm trying to say properly, but you know, do you feel like the industry is becoming less and less inclusive? I feel like it is, and I saw a really good video on TikTok of someone saying, well, since DEI has been taken away from a lot of companies in America, even though that hasn't happened to us over here, it is kind of trickling down. I think before, I'm talking about my industry, by the way, like, you know, just beauty and just beauty in general, it's not as inclusive. Like, we're not seeing a lot of boys in campaigns. We're not seeing boys in general in anything. And if we are, it's a very small percentage. But beauty isn't as inclusive. I feel like when I see things, it's just the same copy and paste with the girls. It's so boring. And there's so many amazing, talented people out there that I see every single day on these apps or in person. I'm like, you are using the same person because you want to be friends with them or you want to be them. It's getting very weird. It's weird. But in general, even like I saw a video where this girl was speaking about fashion and in campaigns and just in love shows, in dating shows. I feel like they just want to embarrass the minority. It's getting very, very weird. So those are the end of the questions, actually. I thought I had a few more questions, but I don't. So I'm just gonna finish off my lip combo. But thank you for asking those questions. I wanna try and make the Q&As kind of like more of a regular thing. What is this? This is the one product that I was like, okay, they tried to basically dupe Summer Fridays, but how is this better than the Summer Fridays one? Because this is nice. The Summer Fridays one is nice, but there's something about this one that's just a bit more glossy. This one is called Vanilla, what's it called? Vanilla Toffee. And then this is the, what's this called? Hot as Fudge. What did I call it? Anyway. Look, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little Q&A and catch up. Again, it's my objective to become as consistent here as I can, and I'm gonna try and just roll out a few videos throughout the few days, and then I'm gonna try and get my schedule kind of locked in on here. But thank you for everyone that's kind of still tuned in to watch my videos, even on this year I've been up and down. But love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.